think your dog's little habits are random, the way they lean against your leg, press their paw into your arm, or follow you from room to room. But what if every one of those moments was a sentence in a language you were never taught to hear? Dogs don't speak in words. They speak in touch, in glances, in breath. Every sigh, every gaze, every paw laid gently on your skin carries meaning, deep, loyal, unspoken meaning. And once you start listening, you'll never see your dog the same way again. Today, we'll uncover 10 silent messages your dog uses to say, "I love you. I trust you. You're my home." 1. When they lean into you. That small nudge against your leg may look like a plea for attention, but it's something far deeper. When your dog leans their weight into you, they're grounding themselves in the safest place they know. Scientists have found that this simple act releases oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds a mother to her newborn. It slows your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and creates an invisible loop of calm between both of you. To them, leaning isn't comfort, it's surrender. It's trust. It's the wordless way of saying the world feels steady here. So the next time your dog presses against you, don't move away. Let them stay. You might just be the anchor that keeps their world still. But what happens when they don't just lean, they follow? That's where love becomes devotion. 2. When they follow you from room to room. That quiet sound of paws trailing behind you isn't random. It's rhythm, the heartbeat of loyalty that never wants to fall out of step with yours. You stand up to grab a drink, to check the mail, to walk down the hallway, and there they are. Soft eyes, steady gait, always close enough that you can feel the brush of their fur. To most people it looks like clinginess, but to a dog, following isn't about need. It's about belonging. In the wild, wolves don't survive alone. They move together. The leader walks first. The pack follows, not out of obedience but out of trust. Your dog still carries that instinct in every step. When you move, they move. When you pause, they wait. A 2022 study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs can detect subtle changes in their owner's cortisol levels, the stress hormone. They sense your emotions in the air long before you ever say a word. When your energy rises, theirs does too. When you calm down, they quietly exhale beside you. So when your dog shadows you from the kitchen to the porch, they're not checking on you. They're syncing their heartbeat to yours. To them, your presence is the map of safety. You are home, the center of their small, loyal universe. And if they sometimes sit outside the bathroom door or wait patiently by the bed until you fall asleep, it's not habit. It's devotion, written in motion. Because to them, every step you take is a promise they want to keep. 3. When they sleep pressed against you. Night falls, and the house grows quiet. The day slows, the lights dim, and there you feel it. The warm weight of your dog pressed gently against your leg, your back, or your chest. It might seem like a search for warmth, but that's not it. For dogs, sleeping close isn't comfort, it's survival. In the wild, wolves slept shoulder to shoulder, so they could feel each other breathe. That rhythm meant safety. If one stirred, the others woke. No words, just trust. A 2020 study published in Scientific Reports found that dogs who sleep near their owners show lower cortisol levels and steadier heart rates during rest. Their bodies literally relax when you're near. Your scent, your heartbeat, your breath, all of it tells them you're safe now. And yet it's not just one-sided. When your dog curls into you, they're not only seeking protection, they're offering it. It's their way of saying, you can rest now. I've got you. One veteran once said, "My dog sleeps with his back to me, always facing the door. Guess one of us has to keep watch." That's not a random choice. That's love standing guard in silence. For rescued dogs, this act carries even more meaning. It's the soundless proof that fear has finally turned into belonging. Every night they sleep pressed against you, they're not just resting. They're healing, one breath at a time. 4. When they gaze into your eyes. It happens when you least expect it. You're drinking your morning coffee, scrolling through your phone, lost in thought, and then you feel it. That soft, steady gaze from across the room. Not begging, not moving, just watching. Most people laugh it off or turn away. But that look, it's not random. It's communication at its most powerful. In 2015, researchers at Azabu University in Japan discovered something extraordinary when a dog holds eye contact with their human. Oxytocin levels rise in both. The same hormone that bonds a mother to her newborn surges quietly between you and your dog. That gaze becomes a bridge between two species, a wordless way of saying, I know you. I trust you. It's not dominance. It's devotion. The older your dog gets, the more often they do it. They've learned your moods, your rhythms, the subtle shift in your breathing when life feels heavy. They watch not to judge, but to understand. A retired firefighter once told me, sometimes I wake from an old nightmare, and my dog is just sitting there watching me. Not scared, not restless, just there making sure I made it back. That's empathy in its purest form. So when you catch your dog looking at you like that, don't look away. In that silence, you're speaking the oldest language of love, one that doesn't need words at all. 5. When they sigh. Beside you. You've heard it 1,000 times, that long, deep exhale that sounds almost human. You sit down at the end of a long day, the house is quiet, and beside you, your dog lets out that gentle sigh. Not a whine, not boredom, just release. Most people ignore it, but that sound is sacred. In 2018, researchers writing in behavioral processes found that dogs sigh most often when they've reached a state of emotional peace. It's not exhaustion, it's contentment, the physical sound of trust. When your dog sighs beside you, their breathing syncs with yours. Your heartbeat slows, their body relaxes. For a few seconds, you share one rhythm, a kind of quiet harmony between two souls that have seen the same day and made it through together. And here's what makes it even more beautiful: dogs sigh because they've read you first. They feel the tension in your shoulders, the sadness in your voice, the restlessness you try to hide. When they sense that storm, they breathe it out for you. A truck driver once told me, every night when I finally sit down, my old lab exhales, like he's been carrying the whole day too. Maybe he has. Maybe that's what love looks like when it doesn't have words. So the next time you hear that sigh, don't brush it off. It's not just your dog relaxing, it's their way of saying, we made it. You can rest now. 6. When they shake themselves. You've seen it 100 times. Your dog stands up, gives one full body shake, ears flapping, fur rippling, then goes back to what they were doing. No water, no mud, no reason you can see. Just that sudden, deliberate motion, like they're throwing off something invisible. It looks funny, but it's not random. That shake is emotional housekeeping. In 2020, researchers at the University of British Columbia found that dogs shake to reset their nervous systems after emotional spikes, excitement, stress, or sudden change. It's their version of taking a deep breath. They're saying, I'm back. I'm okay. After being startled by a sound, hugged too tightly, or even sensing tension in the room, a dog will stand, shake, and lie back down, as if clearing static from their soul. Sometimes, they even do it for you. One Vietnam veteran told me, when I wake from a nightmare, Duke stands up, shakes hard, and goes back to sleep. Like he's shaking it off for both of us. That's empathy in motion. Dogs absorb our emotions, even the ones we never speak out loud. That shake isn't just for them, it's their silent way of keeping peace in the space you share. So the next time your dog gives one of those sudden shivers, smile. They're not just fluffing their fur. They're letting go for both of you. 7. When they bury their head into you. It happens quietly. You're sitting on the couch, maybe lost in thought, and suddenly you feel it. The gentle pressure of your dog pushing their head into your chest or tucking it under your arm. No sound, no demand. Just closeness. It's one of the most vulnerable gestures a dog can give. In 2019, researchers writing in Frontiers in Psychology found that when dogs press their bodies or heads into their owners, oxytocin and dopamine levels rise sharply in both. It's not just affection. It's biology's way of saying, you're safe with me. Burying their head isn't hiding. It's grounding. They're absorbing your calm, borrowing your steady heartbeat when their world feels uncertain, or offering you theirs when yours feels heavy. A firefighter once told me, after my wife passed, my dog used to shove his head right under my arm every night, like he was trying to crawl inside my heartbeat. That's not neediness. That's love answering grief. And here's what's remarkable. A 2022 study from Queen's University Belfast showed that dogs can smell human stress through subtle changes in sweat and breath. They know when something inside you hurts. So when they bury their head against you, they're not seeking comfort, they're giving it. They're saying, let me carry a little of that for you. That's not a hug. It's a promise, silent, steady, and pure. 8. When they sit facing away from you. At first, it almost feels rude. You're sitting together, petting them gently, and suddenly they shift, turning their back toward you, eyes fixed on the door. You might think they've lost interest or gotten distracted. But that small move says something most people miss entirely. It's not rejection. It's protection. In the wild, wolves rest in formation, the leader at the center, the others along the edges watching the dark. Each position means trust. No one turns their back unless they believe the one behind them is safe. Your dog carries that same instinct in their bones. When they sit facing away from you, they're not ignoring you. They're taking guard duty. Their body becomes a quiet shield between you and the unknown. A 2021 study in applied animal behavior science found that dogs show higher alertness when their owners are relaxed, not anxious. In other words, when you rest, they rise. When you let go, they keep watch. One retired soldier told me, every night my shepherd sits by the front door until I turn the lights off. He won't move until I do. That's how he says goodnight. That's loyalty without language. And if you look closer, you'll notice their ears always half turned toward you, even while facing the door. They're listening for your breath, your smallest sound, balancing two worlds at once, the one that needs guarding and the one they love most. So when your dog turns their back, don't call them stubborn. They're not turning away. They're standing between you and everything else. 9. When they tilt their head. That famous little tilt, the one that melts your heart every single time. You say their name, ask a question, and there it is. That slow lean to one side, ears, perked eyes locked on yours, like they're hanging on every word. It's adorable, but it's not just for show. That tilt is a window into how deeply they're trying to understand you. In 2021, researchers from Animal Cognition discovered that dogs tilt their heads most when they hear familiar, emotionally charged words like walk, toy, good boy. It's not confusion, it's concentration. They're not just hearing sounds, they're reading meaning, tone, and emotion. The tilt actually helps them see you better. Because of their muzzle, dogs can't always see your entire face when looking straight on. Tilting aligns both eyes, giving them a clearer view of your expression. They're literally trying to see your heart. A truck driver once told me, when I talk to Maggie, she tilts her head like she's grading my grammar. But if I sound sad, she just stops. No tilt, no sound, just stares. That's empathy, raw and real. So the next time your dog tilts their head, pause for a moment. That's not curiosity, that's understanding. They're telling you, I hear you, I see you, even when you don't say a thing. 10. When they put their paw on you. It happens quietly. No bark, no demand, no sound at all. You're sitting there, maybe reading, maybe lost somewhere far away, and suddenly you feel it. A soft paw resting gently on your arm, your knee, or your chest. Most people think it means pet me. But that's not always true. Sometimes it's the most intimate way a dog can say I'm here. In 2023, researchers from Applied Animal Behavior Science discovered that gentle paw contact is a form of tactile communication, not manipulation. It's how dogs bridge the gap between your world and theirs. When they sense you're breathing slow or your mood shift, they reach out not to ask, but to offer. Touch is the oldest language on earth. For dogs, it's sacred. It says what words can't. You're not alone. I've got you. A 68-year-old veteran once told me, when the nightmares hit, Duke puts his paw right on my chest. He doesn't move until my breathing slows. That's not a coincidence. That's the connection. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that physical contact between dogs and their owners increases serotonin, in both easing stress and deepening trust. So when your dog rests that paw on you, it's not a demand for attention. It's a quiet rescue. It's the same way we'd place a hand on the shoulder of someone we love, who's been too strong for too long. It's their way of saying, I feel your storm and I'll stay until it passes. Every breath beside you, every soft sigh, every paw that finds your hand. It all means one thing: your dog doesn't just love you. They live that love every single day. So tonight, when the room is quiet and they curl against you, listen. That sound isn't background noise, it's devotion alive and breathing right next to you. If this story makes you see your dog a little differently, share your thoughts below. Tell me what's one thing your dog does that speaks louder than words. And if you want to keep learning the language of dogs, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to follow the next video. Thank you everyone for listening.